Hi, Ryan Sweeney here to talk about project management and specifically the DMAIC process in a real life situation. See, when I was in Afghanistan, I reduced attacks on our helicopters on one outpost from 90% to 0% by using the DMAIC process. So, I defined the situation, which was pretty obvious, right? We didn't want an incident where our helicopters were actually shot down, a big national incident, right? So we wanted to stop that from occurring a little bit more proactively. So what we needed to do was take the measurements and see why our aircraft were getting attacked so consistently. So what we did was really analyze all the data that we saw. We saw when the attack helicopters arrived, when the lift helicopters arrived, the time situation between it, the accuracy of the attacks within the area from enemy indirect fire, and started to build all this process, all this information, all this data into one chart. Once we did that, we identified that really we had set by our standard operating procedures, we set a reoccurring rhythm. The enemy knew we were coming. They knew by the attack aircraft coming in, the lift aircraft were going to come 5 minutes later. We believed that they were, dug in positions where we couldn't find them unless we were looking at the right place at the exact right time. So they were dropping in direct fire and ducking back behind rocks for cover, for us unable to ever see them. So what I went ahead and did is I had to get buy-in to go ahead and change what had been a standard operating procedure. And I did that by getting all the air crews together, by getting the lower level commanders together, presenting this data, presenting my plan, and then ultimately going to our executive leadership to sell this, because the process was a little bit unique. And essentially what I did was put all the outcomes or all the scenarios into a hat and just drew from the hat randomly. So there was lift aircraft go in without attack aircraft go and come back, lift aircraft never come, attack aircraft go in, lift aircraft come in behind them, lift aircraft go in and attack aircraft come in behind them, and just all the situations and scenarios make our presence known there. That wasn't just the same routine and rhythm that we did over and over again, and by implementing that process and ultimately leaving it out of somebody's hands that had a decision or was willing to fall into that same routine over and over again. That was the way we controlled it, and once we executed in that process, which seems pretty simple, right? We had, again, attacks go from 90% down to 0%.